Shalom, family. I hope everybody is doing well. All right. I'm here. I had a little connection issue, but I finally made it on. All right. Let me just get this. Got to get myself together. I hope all of you are doing fine. It's cloudy, but we had a polar vortex that was headed in our direction starting on Monday and look like it may not happen. Apparently, there's some warm air up in the stratosphere, which interfered with the polar vortex. So we may not be getting it at all, which is shocking. I've never seen that happen. It probably has happened before. I just never noticed. All right. Let's see here. I got a couple of things I have to. All right. Let me see if I can get my graphics here. But other than that, I'm kind of glad. I mean, it gets real cold and then it stays cold sometimes for days. But the one that was coming, they said we would have been in the deep freeze for 14 straight days. But now that the warm front has showed up above it, we're not going to be getting it. But they said we could still be getting turbulent weather from it. So I hope not. Okay, so that's one. Okay. There we go. Boy, we just got over the Great Conjunction, and now we got the Triple Conjunction, which you'll be able to see Sunday and Monday. And the nice part is you'll be able to see it right after sunset. So it's not like you have to wait until 2 a.m. to see it. It's nothing like that. If you know your directions, it's going to be in the southwestern sky. So if you don't know what is southwest around you, then try to download a compass app onto your phone and you'll be able to see what direction southwest is, and you'll see it in the sky. I've seen it in the sky a couple of years back, and it looks like almost like the planets are in a triangle type position in the, up there with Jupiter on top and then Mercury and Saturn on the bottom. But you'll know it when you see it because it's kind of bright in the sky. It's not really one of those things that's easy to miss. Okay, there we go. All right, let me make that a little smaller. Okay, there we go. Okay, and just give me another minute and I'll be ready to show my screen. Okay. All right, I am ready. Let me go ahead and share my screen with y'all. Welcome everybody that just came into the chat. Shalom to you. All right. All right. Now, we had the Great Conjunction on the 21st of December. Well, starting on the 10th and the 11th, right after the sun goes down, you will get to see Jupiter, Saturn, and Mercury in the sky. So, and they call this the triple conjunction. So that will happen this weekend. All right. So, depending on where you are, you may actually see it on the 9th, which is a Saturday. So they're saying this will actually go on from the 9th through the 12th. But the best time to see it is the 10th and the 11th, because that's when it'll be the brightest in the sky. So you will see Mercury, Jupiter, and Saturn will be visible in the southwestern sky. The celestial event is known as the triple conjunction, which means two planets and a third meet in the sky for a short period of time. So, shortly after sunset on January 9th, look above the southwestern horizon, and you will see Mercury to the left of Saturn and Jupiter positioned above Saturn. From Friday evening to Monday evening, the planetary Mercury will appear to pass by Saturn and then by Jupiter as it shifts away from the horizon. Visible each evening, and they said it will be low in the west southwest sky. So hopefully it won't be so overcast that you will get an opportunity to see it. So according to space.com, all three planets will fit in the field of a view of a binocular. But trust me, I've seen this before. You will be able to see it with your naked eyes. So if you don't have a binocular, just wait for it to get dark and then go outside. Trust me, you're not going to miss it because it's going to be the brightest thing in the sky. Okay. So according to space.com, you know, if you got binoculars, great. If you don't, I don't think you really need them. Mercury and Saturn will be a challenge to see within the evening twilight, except for sky watchers at the southerly latitudes where the sky will darken faster. Sky watchers should find an unobstruction of the view on the horizon and start stargazing no later than 45 minutes after sundown. The planets will form a triple conjunction again February 13th, according to NASA. So if you miss it, or it's just the conditions are not good enough where you can see it in the sky, you will have another chance to see this triple conjunction February 13th. So when you look up in the sky, now this was the grand conjunction. Here's Earth. And then from Earth, you were able to see Jupiter and Saturn. Well, this is what it's going to look like. Starting on the 9th, you're going to see Earth, Mercury, Jupiter, and Saturn. All right. So you should be able to see the three planets. And this is what it will look like in the sky. This is from one of the observatories. And you can see it's like a triangle in the sky. Jupiter is going to be, of course, at the high part of it. And then down on the bottom, you'll see Mercury and Saturn. Boy, we got a lot of things coming in the sky, don't we? It just seems like there are so many events going on in the sky these days. It's not even funny. Signs and wonders, you know? This is what the Most High told us to look for, the signs and wonders. And it's definitely a sign and wonder what we are looking at. So, I mean, difficult times ahead for many of these people, but for us, we know what all of this means. We do. So, oh, I'm sure it is going to give off some mad energy when this is visible in the sky. Just like the grand conjunction, but you just got three planets instead of two. Yeah. I mean, look, things are getting tough in America. You know, I don't know if any of you've been following COVID. Before they were having about 2,000 deaths per day. For the first time yesterday, they had 4,000 deaths in a 24-hour period. So it is getting tougher here in America. It really is. And you got to factor in now you got that new mutated virus, and it's no telling how many of these people had that new, the mutation and died. It's not like they tell you, okay, well, this amount of people had the COVID strain that we've been fighting all this time, and this amount of people died from the new mutated strain. They don't tell you. They don't tell you. So you don't know who got who, who had what. You just don't know. But it's not shocking to me that we see these celestial events during the time when it's really bad in America. It is really bad. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, I mean the stuff up at the Capitol, that is getting that is getting just wild. The FBI said they've been reviewing video. They have been able to identify hundreds of those folks, and they don't care if they were physically in the building or around the Capitol. They gonna get all of them, as many of them as they can. And I got a video. Homeland Security is trying to get the names of each one of these folks that showed up at the Capitol, and they're all going on a no-fly list. And some of those no-fly lists, depending on the airline, they put your butt on there for life. These folks are never going to be able to fly anywhere within the US or even outside of the US. They're trying to put them all on a no-fly list. The FBI have caught up to some of them that got in the building, and they have been arrested. I got a video coming out called Insurrectionist Regret, because now they're all talking about, I'm sorry, I went in there. I regret it. Yeah. Now that you get caught and you lost your job, yeah, you regret it now. You weren't nobody on that video looked like they were regretting a thing when they were in there, but now now they see they're standing to lose things. Now they're regretful. You know how it is. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they caught a lawyer. One guy I did, he's a CEO of a marketing firm, and they already put his butt on leave. I said, yeah, they're not going to have him back. And another woman, she said she didn't even go in the Capitol. She was just by the door, and her company saw it and fired her. A lot of these employers are reviewing the video, and if they catch one of their employees, they're just firing them. And quite a few of them had got fired today, from what I understand. So yeah, well, they're we don't know what they're going to do. They may sound angry now, but by the time these people go to court, they may give them a light sentence. You know how this place is. When it comes down to their own, they never want to do anything. They want to give them the littlest, lightest teeniest fine possible. You know, if they go hard on them, I will be really shocked. You know, I would be really shocked. Mhm. Now, see, if they wanted to make an impact, the ones they fired, they should tell them, you know, you went out against the federal government. You can't collect unemployment. See, take the unemployment away from them too. That's what you do. Don't let them collect unemployment. But I know they will. I know they will. I know in my state, they just put out anybody in New Jersey that's collecting unemployment, you'll see that extra $300 starting next week. So I know a couple of people were asking me, do you know when New Jersey will give the extra 300 next week from what I read. Yeah, that's what Homeland Security said, what they did was treason, and they participated in a riot against the US government, and they don't want them on any flights. In fact, the TSA and Homeland Security are trying to figure out and put these people's names on lists. So if they ever try to make an attempt to fly somewhere, they won't be able to. Well, you know what? I don't think they were concerned about how it looks. I think they're concerned now, especially the ones that are getting a knock at their door from the FBI. I think they are worried now, but at the time when they were all worked up from the Trump rally and went over to the Capitol, I don't think they cared. I really don't think they cared. They didn't care how it would look. Thank you, Black Voltron Reloaded. Thank you for the super chat. Yeah, well, they said they were going to try to catch up, but you know what, y'all? When you really think about it, it's pretty lame because think about it. When they shoot us and when they arrest us, they do it in broad daylight on TV. It's televised. Anytime somebody is shot, they play it on a 24-hour loop of the black person getting killed. But when it's them, the day that they commit the crime, they don't do anything. But the days later, oh, they're arresting everybody behind the scenes. You notice you're not seeing anybody openly get arrested. You're not seeing it. Where's the videos of them getting arrested? Yeah, I know. Rosalind, I do have a video coming up about Maya Ponsetto getting arrested. And that's another thing. I did my story from CBS on her arrest, and they had a video clip there. And I said, okay, maybe they're showing her arrest. They didn't even show her arrest. You know what they did? They showed the same clipping from the hotel. That's what they did. But her actual arrest, seeing her get arrested, they didn't even have a video of her arrest. Like I said, she's getting the white girl treatment. That's what she's getting. And she actually fought the police when they arrested her. She put up a big fight. When they came up on her, she was in her car and they were trying to get her to stop. And they said she drove all the way home. And when she got home and they were trying to get her out of the car, she wouldn't get out the car. And she actually fought. And they had to grab her and physically pull her out of the car. So she put up a big fight. And when she was arrested, but they don't show her arrest. You notice that? I just want y'all to always take notice when it's anyone that's not a black woman, man, or child. They don't show that arrest. They'll tell you they got arrested, but they won't show their arrest. But with us, they will show the arrest, show the shooting, show the cop tasing you. They'll show the whole thing from start to finish. But when it's anyone that's not black, they are very careful not to show anything. And they're sure not showing Maya's arrest. They're not showing it on the news at all. Michael Daniels, thank you so much for the super sticker. Thank you. So, even if she's not a white girl, they're sure treating her like one. I tell you what, if a sister would have tackled a child down to the ground when she got arrested, they would have showed the whole thing. Everything, every detail would have been on the news. Yeah. Yeah, look, they let her go all the way back to California. And look at all the time it took them to get it. And from what I was reading, people were spotting her in different locations around where she lives. And they were reporting it, that that they saw her. And it took them all this time to go and arrest her. Mhm. Yeah. You know, so, no matter what, like I said, she is definitely getting the white girl treatment in this whole thing. And I have a feeling when she gets to New York, they're supposed to be extraditing her. She's probably in New York by now. I would imagine she is. But we'll see what they do to her. If she gonna get the little, kid glove treatment in court, or if they're gonna really throw the book at her, which is I think is highly unlikely that they will throw the book at her. I just don't think they will. Yeah. Yeah, I know she did a couple of interviews. She did one with CNN too. But I really, technically, I don't want to hear anything she got to say, because I know she's going to make herself out to be the biggest victim in the whole thing. That's usually what happens with people like her. As soon as she gets in, any kind of trouble, she's going to suddenly be more of a victim than the 14-year-old she attacked. That's why I was like, don't give her no airtime, because we know what she's going to do with that time. She's going to suddenly become innocent. And according to her lawyer, oh, she's not doing so well. And this whole thing was not about race. It wasn't about, I was like, okay, whatever. Okay. The typical thing we always hear. So, everybody, I'm not going to hold you any longer. If you are in a location and the skies are clear enough, try to get out there and take a glimpse at the triple conjunction. And if you missed this one, then you can catch the one on February 13th. It's a lot of solar events in these last several months. And it's like they're all back to back. All right, everybody. Wherever you are, please enjoy the rest of your day. Shalom, family.